The idea is to give back and give knowledge that most Black students don't have access to.
Having people listen to you, people who understand you, people
that look like me, that sound like me,
who go through the world just like you do.
Understanding, okay, this is my purpose.
Like I could be a mentor to somebody else one day.
We're all about building community and being able to see our people succeed.
Especially in the Black community.
I'm exposing them to a wide range of resources.
All these dreams, goals that you had before can be tenfold. You did it.
You can 100% do this too.
I'm Ronald Jackson, Executive Director of the Communication Ph.D Pipeline Program. There's a lot of pipeline programs that are out there. We find that in the STEM sciences, they're everywhere. Biology, physics, and so forth, they're everywhere. There was nothing really in humanities and social sciences, and specifically, there's nothing in communication. And so I thought, well, if we're going to start one that begins to move people through the pipeline to the PhD, we should pick a point in the pipeline where they can begin to be cultivated. It started when I was being mentored, back when I was an undergrad. And back when I noticed that there was a paucity of people that looked like me who were in positions of authority and credibility within the professoriate. I think I had my first Black professor maybe in the second or third year of undergrad. But prior to that, I didn't have any Black professors throughout schooling. And then I think as I thought about it contemporarily, I thought, okay, so if we can pull together a set of individuals that can transform the field, what does that look like? And so I started talking to my colleagues, and the advantage is that I've been in the profession about 30 years, so I know a lot of people.
My good friend, Dr. Ron Jackson, who's the visionary behind this program, called me on the phone in May of last year, and he told me about the program, and he asked me to come on board to give leadership to the mentoring program. He told me that I would be over the PhD peer mentors.
So I started talking to a bunch of people about a pipeline program. And what I realized was everyone said, that's a great idea. We should do that.
I told him that you had me at PhD students.
So I was introduced by Dr. Jackson about a year ago, and he was asking for volunteers or first year volunteers within, the communication program. And he said, hey, come talk to the pipeline program students about your own personal experience being a graduate student, being a Black graduate student at a PWI. They would love to hear your personal reflections. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll definitely do that.
Dr. Jackson is such a visionary that he has the program set up like a well-oiled machine.
I think Dr. Jackson is so passionate about this project. So everything down to the t-shirts, that is one particular example that I will talk about. We wanted to do t-shirts and quarter zips for all of the fellows and all of the participants in the program so we could all wear them as a collaborative set at NCA. So with the t-shirt design, he wanted it to be perfect. And with that particular situation, I could see how passionate it was, because something as small as a t-shirt, he wants it to be perfect. He wants the designs to be perfect. He wants the wording to stand out. He wants Black excellence on the back.
It's been really awesome to see just a great community of scholars be able to come together to support young Black scholars by people who are very well established in the field of communication already. So it's a really beautiful thing to see.
My name is Philip King. I attend Texas Southern University as well. I did my undergrad in music first, and then I went on to do my master's in communications. I'm a musician.
I'd love to know about that transition.
Yeah.
A lot of what Philip and I have talked about is music, to be honest, because we both share a mutual interest in music, which I see him using his communication masters to do some things with, and he's definitely interested in a PhD program. But I have seen him learn a lot, I think, about the field of communication, especially through going to NCA. I know that he enjoyed going to some of the panels. I think that was like a highlight for him, but also just the relationships that he has built himself. So the first meeting that I attended, I was like, wow, this is a lot of people to support 10 students.
It was kind of odd in some ways because, you can imagine that if you have all these people co-located across the country, you're not getting them all in one room at one time. And so therefore you have to have some virtual sessions. So in order to sort of mitigate a bit of that, we said, well, we're going to have at least 2 sessions in person, which is going to be at the National Communication Association Convention and during a campus visit. And the campus visit was here at the University of Cincinnati.
I want you all to think about a time that maybe your most rewarding experience as being a professor, maybe as a graduate student as well. Talk about that experience. Let's all talk about the positives first. And then while you're thinking, that's why I'm saying this out loud. I am Dr. Kelly Merrill Jr. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Cincinnati. And for the Pipeline Program, I am the UC Consortium Director. So I specifically plan the visit to the University of Cincinnati, all the logistics that are tied to that, helping the students come and they do a visit here for 48 hours or 2 days essentially, where I develop programming with some of my research assistants and my programming assistants, where we engage them with communication faculty, communication graduate students, communication students in general, Black faculty on campus, Black students as well.
As a professor, you're in a classroom, students are like, they want to go home or they're not really into the conversation. You don't know how they're taking it. And this is someone I saw like 7 years later who said, your presence and your words shifted the course of my life. And I just want to say thank you.
I don't think our students fully get what the gravity of this program really is. I think they won't get it for another 10 years.
As a graduate student, the proudest moment, I'm just gonna be honest, y'all. It was the first time I saw my name in print. Like, I had written something and it was out in the world and like it was online for everybody to see, and it was just like, I freaking did that. That's amazing, right? And like, I'll be really honest, that glow, at least so far, has not gone away. Like every single time I see my name in print, I'm like, oh yes, I did that.
I don't think they understand what I understand, which is that I'm literally bringing them the best of the best in our field. I'm exposing them to a wide range of resources. I feel confident that I can get them to be acquainted with almost anybody in the field, and that they also can become more widely acquainted with multiple universities across the United States.
Hi, my name is Precious Johnson. I'm a first-year Master's of Arts student in Professional Communication and Digital Media attending Texas Southern University, and I am from Daytona Beach, Florida, and I am a student fellow within the HBCU Pipeline. I'm a student fellow within the HBCU Pipeline Program, and the experience honestly has been enlightening. It's changed my perception of how it is being in, number one, like academia, within like the politics of it, trying to figure out, especially as a Black woman, trying to navigate throughout, okay, what am I gonna do? Like, how am I going to maneuver, not only being a Black woman in like institution, whether it's a PWI or a HBCU, but how am I gonna make the best of the situation and do everything that I wanna do when it comes down to making an impact for students, but also still finding like my purpose and doing like production and film while still teaching. So I think it helped me find a balance.
We mainly looked at the Black PhD students who were attending the National Communication Association, and we said, hey, how do we get them more involved? I've always believed in sort of lifting as we climb. This little pin that I'm wearing here shows a Sankofa bird, and the Sankofa bird basically refers to looking back while also looking to the future. That notion is very important for me, so I've never stopped mentoring.
I still remember my professors looking at me and like starting my PhD program and saying that, okay, you know, we're looking at generations of efforts to work on this. It cannot be one ditch and say, oh, we're there.
I got accepted in 2023 on my advisor, Dr. Tanisha Taylor. She put me onto the program. She introduced me to everybody who was in charge of the program.
So Dr. Taylor actually introduced me to this program because she worked alongside Ron Jackson actually when she was growing into like figuring out her PhD, like, you know, just going throughout life.
I never thought I could do all these stuff with communications. Like, communications wasn't even my first thought initially when I first came into Texas.
I was still kind of on like the skeptic side of figuring out, okay, do I really want to do this? I know I want to, but do I really want to?
Being in the pipeline program, it just showed me different various ways of how I could use that and really just make a better environment for people. So it gave me a good understanding. It just gave me a good way to maneuver.
And from then on, it's history. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be in this program. So thanks to her, you know, she made this possible.
Hi, I'm Priscilla Cotton. I was a fellow in the HBCU Pipeline Program last year. I'm a mentor now, and I am the first fellow to be accepted to a PhD program at Georgia State University.
She is what we embody in this program. She has the strength, she has the excitement, she has the knowledge, she has the motivation, I think, to come into a program like this, meet a lot of Black scholars, get well connected, and then share what she knows and what she experienced in her first year to the next generation, to that second dynasty.
I'm a mentor now, but I was a fellow last year. And I was introduced to the program because my advisor at my master's program at Bowie State University, Dr. Covage, happened to be friends with Dr. Jackson. And she was like, you know, I think this program would be pretty beneficial to, you know, what you're interested in and going into a PhD program, you know, in the future. So maybe, you know, consider joining the program. You know, I just bring so much people together. You know, I'm all about the community, you know?
Teaching is a big part of my family. Like, it's like a line of teachers, like either principals or teaching. So they were very prone on like, be a doctor or be doctor adjacent for teaching.
Priscilla's a diamond in the rough. I mean, she is just such a phenomenal human being, but she's also a person who came in with a certain clarity of vision around how she wanted to pursue her career.
Undergrad, I went to school as a bio pre-med student, and I was interested in being a pediatrician. And then I changed to math. I'm in mathematics, still a pre-med track, because you can have any major as a pre-med track. But I was looking at how, you know, maybe practicing medicine is not really for me, but I still love health. And I love writing about health and researching and doing labs. And so that's when I found comm, and I found communications, and I could research anything in communications, health included. And they had specific programs for health.
I know that her goal is to become a tenured professor at one of these great institutions, and then beyond that to eventually work for the CDC. So I'm just so excited about Priscilla because she's living proof that the program works.
When I first met Priscilla, we had honestly had a conversation about like master's programs, PhD, things like that. And she was telling me that she wants to go on and get her doctorate. And I believe at the end of the pipeline program, the last time, she'd already been accepted to a couple of programs. And I was like, girl, you've already got it. You know, you've already got it. So she is a very ambitious person. And then at NCA, I went to one of her panels for, she's talking about menstrual cycles. And it was so many women in the room, even a couple men in the back, you know, asking questions and connecting with her. So it was so cool to see this thing that started out as like an idea, a dream, a topic, turn into a whole panel discussion of women talking about this topic that she's so passionate in.
My favorite thing about Priscilla is that I can have really great conversations about potential research in the future, and we do even want to work together on some projects. But also she's just a phenomenal friend in person.
Seeing how this program can do so much for you in providing you those resources and knowledge and just access to, if you have an idea, and if you have a purpose in your research, you can take it and you can run with it.
This particular program opens up the door for you and says, come with me. Not like go to it, but like come with me through the door. I will show you where to go next.
When I got into the program, of course I was really excited, and then when I found out that there were only like 9 other HBCU students that got in, I felt like, okay, maybe, maybe I am somebody. So, I was happy about that. And then just going forward with the lectures every month and stuff like that, it kind of introduced me more to the possibility of grad school, which I wasn't sold on, like you guys said at first.
It's fun seeing them in my shoes. Last year, I was just in their shoes just last year, and seeing like, oh my God, like I hadn't been to a national communication conference.
I remember being interviewed by Dr. Jackson, and like the questions, I just was not ready for that interview whatsoever. And I remember bawling my eyes out to my mom because I was like, I'm not gonna get in, they're not gonna accept me. And I got the email, but definitely was just coming in like for a new experience, honestly, to connect, network, things like that.
Once we had that first okay, hi, I'm those first introductions, it was like, all right, cool, so we're doing this. So we're a cohort now. I feel like before it was like, okay, we're just people on Zoom together. But once we got to NCA, it was like, okay, we are a group of people, a group of friends, a group of scholars here together now.
It's so great to just see and be a part of that new beginning for them.
I get to see people that look like me, that are just like even a little bit older, and see what they're doing and how they're being successful. And also in a way, it can see how I could become in the future. Like I could be a mentor to somebody else one day and help them move on and continue their program,
I just want to see me everywhere. Like I want to see Black people, Black men, Black women, Black children, just in media in general. I feel like it's monumental.
I think for me, it's extremely significant to see not only Black people, but I think through this program, seeing all the Black women and just women of color in general who are in positions of power, I guess you could say, in the field of comms, deans, associate deans, doctors. It's like, okay, so this is something that's like definitely within reach.
Being here around the mentors like Grace, like Reese, like Dr. Jackson, who are just like soaring past heights of like what they tell Black kids to do. Like past the bachelor's, past the MA, PhD, like to know that like that's an option that's available.
It's been interesting how to navigate how people can help me even in that space where people are doing communications, political communications, even like health communications, which I didn't even know was a thing until this program. But also like seeing people in person, and just, being online, just being able to just talk to somebody whenever you want to talk to somebody, and, just have a friend that supports you is honestly just the best part about the mentorship for me. Once we got to NCA, the National Communications Association Conference that was held in the National Harbor, that's where everything completely shifted.
So both of you laughed when you said NCA.
Yeah. NCA was just like a bonding experience for us. Like it was just a experience where we just met up with each other, and then afterwards we just ended like we was family. Like we just came together as one. Started as randoms, so it was just like the experience of family.
The time was had.
Definitely had.
Before NCA, they were definitely very weirded out. They were like, oh, this is weird. I don't know anyone. You're meeting, essentially most students are the only student from their HBCU. And so they don't know anyone else that's a part of the program. We do have a couple that are coming from the same institution. So they're on a call with 100, maybe even Black strangers to them, right? They're like, who are all these people? We don't know what they're doing. This is kind of odd.
It was very weird that it was virtual, So it's like, I didn't really know what they look like because sometimes their cameras will be off. So I'm nosy. So I'm like clicking through, trying to like zoom in and see who's who and trying to remember the names. And then we had 2 Isaacs. They're not here right now. But I was like, which Isaac is which? And then I was so confused. There's 2 Tamias. So I'm like, which Tamia is which?
Like that's so weird. Like
so,
Isaac to me.
Yeah,
Like,
At first, they're pretty quiet. They don't contribute much, and so we don't get to learn about them as much. We do the little introduction. We learn about the basics, their name, their major, what institution they're at.
It's just like so crazy how when we got to NCA, it was like instant connection. Like we had known each other like for a year. Like we was at a reunion. We're all just like so similar, and we have so much in common, so much to relate to. And not to mention we have so much fun together because it's like, I feel like this space is just so safe.
But I think over time we get to learn a little bit more about them. They come out their shells. And then at NCA, we can see them and how they function in this large scholarly space, how they're functioning with a lot of different people, 5,000 to 6,000 people, I think.
Hi, my name is Tashika Barnett. I'm majoring in organizational communications at Bowie State University, and it's my 2nd year as a graduate student. I believe I got enrolled in it in like September, October, and that experience was pretty awesome. I think mentorship is great because you don't know everything, and to see someone who knows much more than you do helps because you get advice, not just from your parents, but from everywhere else.
They know they're not alone. They know that whatever decision they make, they can contact a Curtis, contact a Ron Jackson, contact Dr. Johnson, contact a Dr. Fowles Thompson, and know they'll speak to somebody that will have their heart and their ear for them.
This program gets you thinking about various opportunities and just like, wow, you can just have a conversation with anyone about anything and not be scared of asking silly questions.
It really helps you build community, and also they can help guide you, right? So for me specifically, someone like Dr. Jackson or the faculty within my department, or even faculty that I've built with, relationships like Dr. Wendy Dees, who currently teaches here at the University of Miami, and she's always been there for me. She's always been in my corner. So mentorship is just very imperative. It's important.
The purpose of this program is really to give students the exposure and opportunities to excel, to start off with an advantage, so that when they do pursue a PhD, it's not something new or different or odd, but rather something that reflects an extension of their lifelong dream.
Mentorship is everything. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the mentors, the people that paved the way for me. One of my biggest mentors, Dr. Nikisia Gordon, a Howard alum, actually. She's the whole reason why I'm a professor, right? Having people listen to you, people who understand you, people who look like you, people who go through the world just like you do, and then be able to provide you advice, to provide you the insights into what you might need or what you're gonna learn or what you're gonna face is really important.
In a society that oftentimes tells them that the possibilities are limited, it opens up a range of dreams, right? It gives them a sense of the capacity to pursue anything, to pursue excellence in every respect.
For me, it's just fulfilling to see, especially our Black and Brown students, just succeed, and to be able to offer that encouragement to them and to just be a resource. It just makes me happy to see them succeed in life.
It all stems from the love you have for not only like yourself and your family, but for others. I feel like that's always something that my family and like the people that my family and I surround ourselves with have taught us the importance of giving back, helping the next generation, especially in the Black community.
I'm coming into a PhD program. I'm the first, I will ideally be the first doctor in my family. And it's hard just because I don't know what's coming next. And having that mentorship and having representation, I did not have representation growing up. Like being a Black woman in STEM, there's not that many of us. the mix of access to resource, access to knowledge, and more representation, and coming back and being able to be in this program as someone who looks like them in this fellowship, then it just helps, it just adds to, okay, you are another Black woman who's coming behind me. You can 100% do this too.
It might sound a little crazy, but I think that the people and the passion that a lot of well-known scholars in the field have for this program has a lot to do with the relationships that Dr. Jackson has made.
You have this collective, this coalition of scholars that now, if at one point you felt like you were as a Black scholar in it alone, now you're not.
I could tell that our PhD peer mentors were excited to mentor the fellows and walk alongside them in their academic career.
I think that HBCUs need to continue to have these different type of resources and opportunities for their students, whether it's undergraduate or graduate students. But now we're transitioning into, we want to welcome everyone.
Because a grad program, a PhD program is hard. It's definitely hard. It's time consuming. It's a little bit of sacrifice. But what you get out of it, you may become a published author. You've connected to a wide variety of different people.
We're all about building community and being able to see our people succeed.
We're going to go into this next year thinking at least 75 to 90% master students, with only maybe a few undergraduate students. And the reason for that is that we really want to see how we can expand further into this pipeline, right? Because we've already sort of greased the pipeline, so to speak, for the folks that are coming in the junior year and senior year, but now we don't really have as many of the people that are in their master's programs right now that fully understand what needs to happen next. So we want to open up the pipeline even further so people get, okay, yeah, I should be doing these particular things as I prepare for the PhD.
I always say, I sometimes feel like you don't wrestle with the understanding of the opportunity you have until you've gone on the other side of it and look back. But the vision that Dr. Jackson has about establishing a pipeline, establishing a coalition of Black scholars, both as mentees, but also as peer mentors, and moving forward. It wasn't like, oh, we're just doing this for the mentees, and when you're a mentor, you're gone. Like, we just go get some more grad students. No, it's this building on, it's this foundational work being built on top of each other.
This program will move from being a pipeline program that has several students every year going through a process of learning about different topics to a program where people are actively participating in transforming the field.
I hope that they are inspired by all of the Black brilliance to pursue a PhD and then to come out on the other side with PhD in hand so that they can join us as colleagues in the academy.
I want them to know that they are seen, that they are supported, that they are heard, that we care about them. You matter, your work matters. Whatever you decide to do in this world, it will be impactful.